So I think I found the thing. I found the thing that I think is wrong with like social media today. You know how from like from the beginning of time, people have been able to like connect in any different media because of the aspect of them being human. But in today's society or in today's world, tech world, there isn't a lot of humans. That's the issue. Like there isn't a lot of humans being human, but more robots or technology, more technology being technology. There's a lot more social media than there is human connection. I hope you get what I'm saying. A lot of people not being human enough or human indeed to actually connect on a human level. And that's the reason why most people are not connected, is because the actual aspect of them connecting is wiped out. And the reason being is that with every interaction online, most people are falling into the idea of what the social media platform is providing than what the human aspect of their presence is providing. And that is the reason why most people are not connecting online, is that human beings, a lot of human beings anyways, online have sort of like forgot what their intrinsic value is, like the actual aspect of being human. And because of that, they're unwilling to offer it because they do not see it in themselves. And which is really funny, not really funny, but like it's also uh devastating maybe, but like it's also something that like is taking away from the value of what human beings are. Like it's draining in a sense the juice of what is even giving life to social media, which is human connection. I mean, that was the basis of why social media was built. It's like for people to connect, for people to connect. It was based on that. Like that was the motive, I guess. I think. And if that thing is like lost or is not understood today, then people aren't able to like connect, aren't able to progress or even indulge in any sensible, meaningful connection, which is really something that like is fundamental. Most people just view each other as public figures, public entities that like sort of pump in this content or juice into the social media stream and get to like withdraw money and get to be themselves off screen, which is really something that like I don't really agree with, but it's the reality, current reality for like social media today. And the only way possible for us, the only way that I see possible for people to like really change this is not because but like is by changing the way you view things, the way you view yourself, changing the relationship that you have with yourself, changing the relationship that you share with other people online, is by creating your own uh, space, like being open about it, trying to like interact with people, trying to be human, which is really like stupid to even be saying right now, because that's basically teaching you how to be human. You get, like that's teaching us to be human. And so if you ask me now, it's like, how do you teach someone to be human? Which is like stupid, because at this point at this point that we've reached, no one would think that that would be the thing to learn. Like you didn't want to be learning about how to be human, but it's actually the same thing that is happening in this current day status. Like this is what is happening, is that people are going back to the process of learning how to be human. And that's because the fundamental basics that were laid down are not being like pushed through, like they're not being advocated. And over evolution, like throughout evolution from the beginning of time, humans have sort of made a way. Whenever there was like a big explosion, whenever there was a big discovery or like invention, humans have always found a way to keep a humane side of things like alive, because that fundamentally, like they understood, like that is like the source of life. Like regardless of whatever is happening like outwardly, we have to keep that aspect in check. For instance, in religion, whenever someone like did something wrong, right, like when someone does something wrong to any society, how do they react to that? Within religion itself, there's a fundamental ground that was like laid down, which is like there was no need to like chastise or shame people, right? The aspect of forgiveness, that's mainly to keep the human structure alive, like the human essence of life alive. Because you understand, with one person being like chastised for being human, or making a mistake or going the wrong way, the wrong way, you weren't chastised, you actually to be forgiven. And if there was need for you to move in a certain direction, you'd have to move in that direction, but you'll be directed, and it wouldn't be something like it's very, brutal at you. But today it's like there's a very well structured path that is being painted by social media, and it's not really just social media itself, it's really the people themselves, because I feel like it's like social media is sort of so big at this point. It's like every day it's like a class. It's like a class. It's like a course that you're like taking, and you're just been taking it every day, every day, every day. You take this course and it sort of updates its syllabus every day. Every day you sort of agree with the idea that whatever it is that you're like pushing out there, whatever it is that which is lacking the human aspect, which is lacking your participation. And this is why I say like you need to participate, because that's the only thing that I see possible to cut out this like whole thing that's happening, is being able to interfere with being a radical, like basically like being a radical, like just being able to interfere with the structure of how things are flowing. Like show up as you. Like there are a lot more people that will actually connect to you, because if we don't have that, then there's no juice for life, there's no enjoyment, there's no what's the word, fidelity of life. There's no that like aspect of life. And if that is like cut out, then the whole part of life that remains is very robotic, very organized, very structured, very inhumane. Like there isn't a soul breathing. You get, it's just a robot functioning. And that's what I say, like in today's society, in today's social media, well, there's only been today's social media anyways. Maybe like the early stages were much better, but like today's social media anyways, there's a lot more technology than there is like human interaction. There's more technology than there is humans connecting. A lot more technology is like connecting than humans, which is also like wildly scary, but because who knows what will like happen. Hopefully it doesn't get to be like the worst, but at this rate, the way things are moving, I can't really like guarantee anything for regular people. But the actual reality is this, guys. Like social media shouldn't be a machine that like sort of just works for the wealthy, because that's something that like might turn out like to be that, because not a lot of people are exposing themselves of their human aspects. Like I see a lot of people like fearfully like giving up. They mostly just flow within this, which isn't the bad thing. I guess that's the way that like people have like identified for themselves to like be able to like socialize or be able to connect with other people, is through these aspects of like social media, which is like social like memes and stuff like that. Like people are able to like connect to that. But like if that's the only mode of like communication, then what happens to the levels of communication that we've already like learned about, like intellectual stuff, like things like even emotional stuff, things that like are very true to us, like things that we're able to feel, and we know that we feel these things, we know these things, but we're not like expressing them, we're not like communicating on these axes, like we're not doing it in that essence. What happens to those things is that those things get to be erased out, and with them being erased out, a certain part of us gets to be erased out. And that's something that like is very big, honestly. And any individual should consider this. Any individual who's like participating in social media should consider this, because it's people like you, it's people like me who are actually like championing this whole system in the first place. Is that we've created this system for our, like we've literally like created this system. Nobody created it for us. We created it because we actually pumped the juice into this thing. And because of that same idea, because of that same sense, because we have done this, we also need to play a part in fixing it, or at least steering it in the right direction, which I identify as being part of the process, like participating, you actually being part of it. And when I say you being part of it, I mean you being present, being visible. Like if people don't get to see the aspects of humans online, they forget about it. You get, like, people forget how to be human. That's the whole reason why people have forgotten to be human, is that because they've forgotten to be themselves, right? And I don't believe being off social media is like an actual solution. Like being off social media and not really retaining, I don't believe that's an actual solution, because at this point that has reached, there's so much that we've done, or we've gone deep enough to the point that I don't think we can really like go back and just like withdraw anyhow. You get that? So it's like we can go radical like that, but like I think it's a more progressive way to like move the same direction, but like just pick up a more different pace or a different direction to move in. So yeah, like I said, being a part of the process, like being part of the participating, which is like really you placing, or and not doing this so facetiously, I don't know if that's the word, but like you just really displaying yourself like out there, like being present, being able to do that. And with a lot of like technology development, like at this point you need to like keep that human aspect alive online. That's the only way that I identify for any individual to actually like thrive, or even just like to be seen online here. Yeah, but like anyway, that was my morning rant.